and welcome back, my friend. Dr. Naina Shah here, your integrative doctor. And I'm so excited to have you join me for chapter 6, the importance of menstrual symptom diary and tracking. In this chapter, we are about to crack the code of your monthly mysteries and turn you into the ultimate cool detective of your own cycle. By the end of this chapter, you will have the tools to transform your menstrual symptoms into powerful clues about your own overall health. So let's dive in. It's time to put on your detective hat. Did you know that the US Department of Health and Human Services now recognizes menstrual cycles as a fifth vital sign? Yes, you heard that right. It's official. Your period is more than just that inconvenient monthly visitor. It's a critical indicator of your overall health. Think of it like your body's internal weather forecast, giving you early warnings and insights into how things are running under the hood. It's your personal monthly health report card, just as Lara Bryden describes in her book, The Period Repair Manual. But what exactly are vital signs? And why is tracking your menstrual cycle such a big deal? Well, vital signs are the basics. Things like your heart rate, blood pressure, temperature, and respiratory rate. They are the key measures that your doctors use to check if everything's ticking along nicely in your body. Isn't it amazing? Now your menstrual cycle has officially joined the club of key health indicators. So let's dive into why your periods deserve a spot on this exclusive list. Now, I don't want you to think of your menstrual symptom diary as just another journal. Think of it as your little personal magic window, giving you and your health practitioner a sneak peek into your unique hormonal landscape. And together, uncover hidden clues and root causes behind a wide range of symptoms, starting from PMS, mood swings and anxiety, to headaches, breast pain, fertility struggles, PCOS, acne, weight gain, sleep disturbances, hot flashes, and more. Even the more serious players like fibroids, endometriosis, and the big ones like endometrial and breast cancers. Your menstrual symptom diary is like a detective's notebook, helping you and your health practitioner identify your unique hormonal, nutrient, or lifestyle imbalances that could be causing your suffering. It's your personalized roadmap to finding the answers and getting back on track. Let's meet Liz and see how her diary became a total game changer. It helped us connect the dots of a health puzzle, revealing hormonal imbalances and sneaky lifestyle factors that were quietly wreaking havoc. Liz, 44 years old, was struggling with relentless headaches, crushing fatigue, heavy and painful periods, sleepless nights, and anxiety that seemed to come out of nowhere. Sounds familiar? All her symptoms had worsened over the past 2 years. Her headaches, which first started in her mid 30s, had escalated into a daily nightmare, impacting her work and home life. By mid afternoon, she was so drained that coffee became her lifeline, just to keep her going through the day. Liz had already seen a neurologist, undergone scans, and had blood tests, all of which came back without anything serious, which was reassuring. But the headaches didn't let up, leaving Liz increasingly frustrated and even questioning her own sanity. She had needed 3 iron infusions in the last 6 months, trying to replenish the iron lost during her heavy periods. But that didn't seem to touch her overwhelming fatigue. The root cause of her suffering remained a mystery until we turned to her menstrual symptom diary. Ready to see how Liz's menstrual symptom diary unraveled her health story and led her to answers she never thought possible? Let's dive in and discover how this little diary became turning point for Liz. This is the first page of Liz's menstrual symptom diary. And yes, I will admit, it's a busy page. But that's the beauty of it. You can pack so much valuable information into this diary. And as I walk you through what we discovered, it will all start to make perfect sense. Take a peek at the top right corner. You will see Liz's name and the date, November 2016, when she first presented. It's been a while since then, but the insights we gained from this page were nothing short of eye opening. First, let's take a closer look at her cycle length. The first row shows the days of the menstrual cycle, and the last row gives us the actual dates of the month. You will notice, as pointed out by the arrows, that Lizzie's period started on the 4th and the next one on the 28th of the month, giving her a 24-day cycle, a bit shorter than her usual 29 to 32 days. It's like her body hit the fast forward button. For the last 2 years, she has been riding the wave of the shorter 21 to 24 days cycles, which is definitely out of sync with her typical rhythm. So, what's really going on here? Let's dive deeper into her diary to find out more. Now, let's shift our focus to the fourth row, which is dedicated to tracking spotting. This is where Liz's diary starts to reveal some crucial insights. She has been experiencing spotting on either side of the period, particularly for 3 days before her main flow begins, much longer than the usual 1 to 2 days. This pattern hints at a potential underlying issue that her ovaries may not be making enough progesterone to support her endometrial lining, causing it to shed earlier than it should. It's another key piece of the puzzle falling into place. Now let's look at the third row, which tracks the amount of menstrual flow. Liz's diary reveals that her flow is super heavy, totaling 230 ml over 6 days, well above the normal range of 40 to 80 ml. No wonder she's constantly feeling drained and has needed so many iron infusions. This heavy flow is a major clue. It suggests that her endometrial lining is growing thick without the proper maturation. This imbalance points to high estrogen, which keeps fueling growth, and low progesterone, which should be stepping in to stop that growth and mature the lining. It's like her hormones are completely out of sync. And it's no wonder she has been feeling so exhausted, losing this much blood. Another big piece of her health puzzle is starting to make sense. Okay, now let's dive into Liz's cervical mucus observations on the fifth row. Remember back in chapter 5, where we learned that egg white cervical mucus is a sign of high estrogen and usually appears right before ovulation? Well, Liz noted egg white cervical mucus on the 9th, 10th, and 11th day of her menstrual cycle, which makes perfect sense as it lines up with her peak estrogen levels just before ovulation for her short cycles. But here is the twist. Liz also noted egg white cervical mucus on the 21st, 22nd, 23rd, and 24th day of her menstrual cycle, shown here by an arrow, which is totally unexpected. This second round of egg white cervical mucus signals that something is off. Let's revisit the diagram from the menstrual cycle and ovarian hormone production chapter. At this point in the cycle, in the luteal phase, as shown by an arrow, progesterone should be running the show, making cervical mucus scant, dry, and sticky. But in Lizzie's case, she is still experiencing egg white cervical mucus during the luteal phase, which is a clear sign that her estrogen levels are outshining progesterone when they shouldn't be. This tells us her ovaries are pumping out way too much estrogen throughout her cycle. Another mystery piece clicks into place. Here is a quick refresher on basal body temperature. When it's elevated for 11 to 16 days, as we've seen before, it's a solid indicator that there is a good amount of progesterone being produced over the right period of time. Let's take a closer look at Liz's temperature chart to see if it supports the story of low progesterone and high estrogen that all the other clues have been pointing to. Time to connect the dots. You will notice that Liz's waking temperature spiked on day 13 of her menstrual cycle, shown by left arrow, just as we would have expected for a shorter 24-day cycle. So yes, she did ovulate, which is a positive sign. But here is the thing. The temperature rise only stuck around for 6 days before dropping to 36.2 degrees Celsius on day 19, shown by the second arrow. This tells us her progesterone only held strong for those 6 days before taking a nosedive. When we combine this with her premenstrual spotting, it suggests that while ovulation happened, it wasn't as robust as it should be. The corpus luteum, the little hormone factory that forms after ovulation, didn't stick around long enough, cutting short the crucial 11-day progesterone production window during the luteal phase. This lines up perfectly with her unexpected egg white cervical mucus on days 21 to 24, indicating that her progesterone was underperforming while her estrogen was still running the show. All these clues are now fitting together like a jigsaw, revealing the clear picture of Liz's hormonal story, which is too much estrogen and too little progesterone. Now let's decode Liz's headaches. She was dealing with them almost constantly throughout the month, so she never really thought they could be hormonal. But her diary might tell us a different story. Her premenstrual headaches, shown here by arrows, they were pretty intense and they were hitting 3 to 4 days before her period. They totally fit the picture of low progesterone and high estrogen. Think of progesterone as your chill, calming bestie, soothing your brain and keeping things mellow. Estrogen, on the other hand, is like that hyper overcaffeinated friend who won't stop talking, agitating your brain cells, triggering headaches, irritability, and all sorts of overwhelm. So it's clear that these hormonal swings are major players in Lizzie's premenstrual headaches. Liz also battles headaches on the first 2 days of her period, right when all her hormones, including estrogen and progesterone, drop sharply. So, are these headaches still hormonal? Absolutely. These headaches are classic withdrawal headaches caused by a sudden drop in estrogen, especially when they're crashing from sky high levels to nearly zero at the start of her cycle. Even though high estrogen was irritating her nerve cells, they had gotten used to that constant level. So when that estrogen suddenly disappears, it's a shock to the system, and her nerve cells struggle to cope, triggering that all too familiar withdrawal headache. So, what's the deal with Liz's mid cycle headaches from day 8 to 11? This time frame, right before ovulation, is when her ovaries are in high gear, cranking out peak levels of estrogen. Normally, this estrogen surge is just a regular part of the cycle and shouldn't be causing headaches. But for Liz, who is navigating the ups and downs of perimenopause, her estrogen isn't just peaking, it's skyrocketing. Instead of a gentle hormonal wave, it's more like a wild roller coaster ride with sharp twists, turns, and unexpected drops. This excessive estrogen surge overstimulates her nerve cells, triggering those intense mid cycle headaches. And it's not just Liz. In many of my perimenopause patients, I have seen estrogen levels shoot up to 2 to 3 times the normal peak. While the typical high is around 1450 picomole per liter, I've seen levels soaring to 3000 or even more. It's no wonder their brains feel like they are strapped into a non stop thrill ride, constantly navigating through those hormonal twists and turns. And what about those pesky headaches on day 6 and days 15 and 16? Can they be explained? Interestingly, these headaches didn't quite line up hormonally. On day 6, Liz's estrogen levels should be still relatively low, and on days 15 and 16, her temperature was up, suggesting she was producing good levels of progesterone. So, what's going on? Ta-da! The mystery was solved in the comment section of her diary. On the days she experienced headaches, Liz had consumed alcohol or she was under stress. In the estrogen detoxification chapter, we will dive into how alcohol can interfere with estrogen detoxification, making it linger longer and spike levels in the body. And in the estrogen module, we will also discover how stress plays a role in ramping up estrogen. So it's another reminder that hormones aren't the only players. Lifestyle factors like stress and alcohol can sneak in and stir the pot too. Here is in summary what we learned from Liz's menstrual symptom diary. Liz's symptoms were flashing all the signs of low progesterone. Her short luteal phase, shown by her basal body temperature rise lasting only 6 days instead of the ideal 11 to 16, and her premenstrual spotting revealed that her endometrial lining wasn't getting the progesterone support it needed. On top of that, low progesterone levels were likely contributing to her anxiety and sleep disturbances. They all pointed to one thing: inadequate progesterone production. And what about estrogen? Liz's symptoms painted a clear picture of high estrogen. Her cycles were shorter, lasting just 21 to 24 days, and her periods were extremely heavy, indicating excessive uterine lining growth driven by high estrogen. Mid cycle headaches suggested her estrogen levels were skyrocketing, and the presence of egg white cervical mucus during days 21 and 24, when progesterone should be dominant, confirmed that estrogen was taking over when it shouldn't be. Plus, Liz's sensitivity to alcohol pointed to detox issues, further highlighting her hormonal imbalance. Simply put, estrogen was running the show and Liz's body was feeling the effect. As you can imagine, Liz was beyond relieved when she found out that her anxiety, sleep disturbances, headaches that she didn't think were hormonal, PMS, painful heavy periods, and even fatigue caused by loss of blood and sleep disturbances all traced back to a hormonal imbalance. She realized she wasn't stuck feeling this way forever. As Lisa Mosconi beautifully describes in the Menopause Brain book, this phase is like renovating your house while you are still living in it. Tough, messy, and sometimes uncomfortable, but with the right tools and a bit of patience, it's a renovation that paves the way for a healthier and more pleasant future. With this newfound understanding, Liz was ready to tackle this chapter with renewed hope and confidence. Here is Liz, in control, motivated, and happy. With some key lifestyle changes like cutting back on alcohol, managing stress through meditation, and keeping active with regular exercise, along with the addition of micronutrients, herbs to help detox her estrogen, and micronized progesterone to balance her high estrogen. Liz experienced a world of difference. Her headaches eased, her energy levels soared, and her sleep became more restful. Even her anxiety, which had been such a constant struggle, finally settled down. Over time, her heavy bleeding also reduced significantly. Liz felt more positive and confident, not just in the moment, but also about her future. She was back in control, empowered with the knowledge that she could manage her health and embrace the years ahead with optimism and joy. I hope you can understand now why the menstrual symptom diary is given the status of a vital sign. It's not an exaggeration. This little diary can reveal so much about what's happening inside your body. It's like having a personal health GPS, guiding you through your hormonal landscape and helping you spot the signs that might otherwise go unnoticed. It's truly a window into your well being. And with so many menstrual tracking apps available, keeping track of your cycle has never been easier. Hey, thank you for joining me on this journey. I hope you are feeling inspired to become your own health detective. Next up, I will guide you through the symptom diary instructions so you can start unlocking the secrets of your own hormonal landscape. So let's explore and empower you to take charge of your health. Namihi and take care.